Mindanao Development Programs at update sa amnesty program ng pamahalaan, ating pag-uusapan kasama si Commissioner Nasser Morohamsalik ng National Amnesty Commission. Commissioner, magandang tanghali po at welcome sa Bagong Pilipinas Ngayon.
Assalamualaikum rin and good morning sa ating tagapakinig.
Una po sa lahat, Commissioner, saan po nakatutok ngayon ang mga development programs para sa buong rehiyon ng Mindanao?
Sa Bangsamoro region po naka-focus ang development plans ng Mindanao. Dahil po sa pangkapayapaan usapan ng gobyerno natin at saka rebel organizations ng Bangsamoro, specifically ang Moro Islamic Liberation Front at saka ang Moro National Liberation Front.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner, no? Partner, I was just in Mindanao last week at nag-attend po ako, Commissioner, ng Mindanao Peace and Security Forum sa Zamboanga at napakaganda na nung peace and order situation natin sa Mindanao. Ano po ang assessment ninyo as a Commissioner of the National Amnesty Commission sa ating peace and order situation?
Except for sporadic encounters which are parang few between involving the roving forces and units of the two armies of the central government and the Bangsamoro region, wala pong malaking disturbances of peace and order. Because of the peace talks, development is now pouring in Mindanao. Kung maalala ninyo po, noong 2015, yung poverty incidents sa Bangsamoro, more than 50% ng population ng Mindanao, families ng Bangsamoro region.
Okay. Sa ngayon po, nagbago na ba yan?
So in 2018, there was a 20% decrease. And according to the Anti-Poverty Commission, by the first semester of 2023, 19+% na lang. Ang ibig sabihin nun, as years go by, and because of the peace talks, not to mention the investment sa Mindanao, which is in 2024, about 2.6 billion. Tuloy-tuloy na po ang improvement, development sa Mindanao. At tuloy-tuloy ang kapayapaan at there will be finally a resolution of the Mindanao problem,
Yes.
the Mindanao conflict.
Yes, because Commissioner, di ba, with security comes development. Kung walang seguridad yung mga tao, walang mangyayaring economic development sa Mindanao. So napakaganda po na gano'n ang sitwasyon natin ngayon. So dito naman po sa issue ng El Nino, kasi maaari nyo po ba kaming bigyan ng update sa mga hakbang na ginagawa natin upang makabangon tayo dito sa matinding epekto ng El Nino sa agrikultura ng Mindanao?
Sa experience ko po, because I'm from Mindanao, alam po ang Mindanao, mayaman sa tubig. For example, in Lanao del Sur, where I hail from, criss-cruising ang rivers doon, which are tributaries to the Lanao Lake, the second biggest lake in the Philippines. Hindi po nawawala yan. Of course, yung level, minsan, going down, pero not to a critical level. Sa Maguindanao, the biggest river yata sa Pilipinas, nandun, di Pulangi River. So, sa tingin ko, we will survive this El Nino phenomenon.
Kasi may biyaya ang Diyos sa ating madaming mga ilog.
Perhaps mas magandang katayuan po ng Bangsamoro region kumpara sa ibang rehiyon ng Pilipinas.
What about in terms of weather? Kayo rin po ba sa banda dyan ay binabagyo katulad pag naririnig mo sa northern part, Cagayan, Norte?
Normal yan.
Normal po sa amin yung binabagyo. When it rains, it pours. Kaya
Matindi rin ang epekto sa inyo pag La Nina naman ang papasok.
matindi rin. Pero dahil sa may mga catch basins kami, we have lakes. For example, in Lanao, 3 lakes namin eh. Oh. So, hindi ganong mapinsala tulad ng nangyayari sa mga drylands dito sa Luzon
Yes.
and Visayas.
Okay. That's good to know, ano? Kaya maganda ang agriculture natin dyan eh.
Yes.
Masagana pa. Minsan, kesa kasi dito maraming mga damages po sa ating agricultural lands. So, biniyayaan pa rin po kayo dyan po sa inyong lugar, no?
Promised land
Ng
po ang tawag
nature.
doon eh.
Yes,
Ng
yes.
Bangsamoro land.
And that's why that's our focus this morning. Ano naman po yung mga programa na nakakatulong po ngayon para magkaroon ng access naman sa healthcare at edukasyon po ang ating mga kababayan dyan?
Ang alam ko po, the Bangsamoro government upgraded our hospitals. Kung 50 beds, ginawang 100. So, yun po ang proyekto ng BARM. What I know is, for example, yung hospital namin sa Marawi City, public hospital, napakaganda po. Meron ng mga scientists doon, mga medical practitioners who are who have the requisite qualifications to do
Yes.
all the works, medical works.
They don't have to come to Manila anymore.
Oh, yeah. For example, Binidayan rin, ganun rin. One of the towns there, third-rate towns, nagkaroon na ng upgraded hospital. So, continuing po ang proyekto ng Bangsamoro tungkol dito.
Okay. Sa dako naman po, Commissioner ng Industrial Development ng Bangsamoro, for example, meron po napabalita dati na Industrial Park Development Program sa Bangsamoro. Kamusta na po ito?
Alam mo, mayroon akong alam dyan eh, na hindi pa alam natin dahil they were not publicized yung mga proyekto. I did not read the Bangsamoro Development Plan, pero I remember during the time of, during the presidency of GMA, there was this plan from Saudi Arabia to open an agricultural complex in Lanao. Which will cover about 10,000 hectares of land. And every infrastructure will be built there, including runways. Pero hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari. Ang sabi nila, if that is materialized, magkakaroon tayo ng 10,000 employees from among us. Mayroon po ring isang project. When our friend, Ambassador Harun Alonto, was the ambassador to Iran. One time, he came home and I had a conversation with him. At saka sabi niya na, Sir, may dala akong proyekto. Iran is going to establish a refinery in the Philippines. Pero, unfortunately, he died. So, walang follow-through conversations kami to know the details of the project. That was towards the end of the Ramos administration. Ang ibig ko lang sabihin, bakit natin hindi exploit ang possibility that other Middle East countries will invest here.
That's right.
Magtayo ng oil refinery. Kung ayaw natin sa Iran, di marami namang Middle East countries iba
Medyo
na friendly sa
masalimos
atin.
ngayon.
Correct.
Friendly sa atin.
Opo.
So,
Busy ang Iran na yun eh.
we should revive the project.
Yes.
Kasi
Yes.
sa tingin ko, hindi gagawin ng Iran yun kung hindi lucrative business eh.
Opo.
And I think baka mag-invest sa atin other Muslim countries other than
Opo.
Iran.
Sabi niyo ngayon,
So,
Saudi Arabia, sana.
sana.
Matuloy yan. kung sakali.
Hindi ko nga alam kung bakit
Nawala
hindi
din.
matuloy. Nawala din eh.
Puro mga plano lang po, pero hindi nare-realize.
But,
So baka ngayon, under BARM, ma-realize na yung mga yan.
Opo.
but these projects were the subject of discussion kasi parang sigurado raw napupunta sila dito. Pero I don't know what happened along the way.
Baka na-delay yung flight.
Baka na-delay. Alright, sa ibang usapin naman po, no, hingi rin kami ng update sa kasalukuyang amnestia program ng pamahalaan. Nasa ilang aplikante na po bang inyong natatanggap sa ngayon?
Mga walk-in lang. Pero ang alam namin, libo-libo ang nakaredy na. Kasi they were waiting for the publication of the IRR. It will be published this coming 3rd week of May.
Well, congratulations. Malapit na.
Nakita ko na nga eh.
3rd week na.
Libo-libo po ang galing sa MILF, galing sa MNLF, galing sa revolutionary
Proletarian Army.
the Proletarian Army. Pati na po yung CCP at NPA at NDF. Libo-libo rin po ang naka-ready na to file their applications.
Okay. So pag nangyari po yan, what are the next steps?
Actually, kami sa NAC, we have already established 10 field offices, regional offices. I mean 9.
Okay.
I stand corrected, 9. The local amnesty
Board,
boards.
yes.
They were already appointed. And they're supported by a secretariat, already appointed also. Our local amnesty boards will take their oath this 28th of this month before Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin.
Okay, so tungkol po dito sa Local Amnesty Board, Commissioner, kasi I'm sure marami sa ating mga dating rebelde ang gustong, or kahit rebelde pa ngayon, ay interesadong makakuha ng amnesty. So saan po itong 9 local amnesty boards natin?
These local amnesty boards are situated in Pagadian, Cagayan de Oro, that is Pagadian City, Cagayan de Oro City, Cotabato City, Davao City, Bacolod, Iloilo, the National Capital Region, Basilan, Anulu. So 9. But the local amnesty boards, to cater to the CPP, NPA, NDF, will follow. Wala pang budget noon eh.
Okay.
Hihingi pa kami po sa gobyerno. And the Executive Secretary assured us of financial support.
Okay, sana Commissioner makapaglagay din tayo sa iba pang lugar, especially yung mga lugar na meron pang active guerrilla front ang CPP, NPA, NDF. So, dito sa Luzon, dito sa Visayas, yung mga Samar na area, Tacloban, pwede tayong maglagay doon para matanggap din natin yung mga application ng mga rebelding CPP, NPA.
Totoo po yan. We are going to establish 10 more local amnesty boards. One in Butuan, in the Kidapawan, in Baguio, in the north, in Pampanga, in Samar, and Leyte. Basta 10 po.
10 pa.
Okay.
10 pa.
Ayan.
Alright, good luck po, Commissioner, at sana maayos na po natin yan. Gusto pa na sana natin itanong sana sa kanya, kahit mabilis lang po, ano po ba yung mga sinong qualified at hindi qualified dito sa amnesty program na ito?
There are offenses na covered amnestiable.
Okay.
So those rebels who committed offenses for these crimes are qualified. Tungkol po sa CCP, NPA, NDF, they are addressed as former rebels because they have to surrender first
Yes.
to the security agencies of the government. Pero sa amin na interpretation po, kung nag-file sila ng amnesty sa amin, that will be considered as surrender.
Of course, yes,
Okay.
tama.
As a surrender.
Ayan.
So, lahat po, this is the widest program of amnesty yet by government. Yung pong kahit po may death sentence po yung rebelde na qualified naman, pwede po ma-accommodate.
Pwede pa rin. Okay.
Detain or deprive of liberties, pwede rin po. Pupuntahan rin namin po
Okay.
yung mga lugar kung saan sila, especially those in jail or those still, in
Hide.
some remote areas
Okay.
na natatakot mag-file ng amnesty.
Amnesty.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Commissioner Nasser Moro Hamsalik ng National Amnesty Commission.